this wet, cold starting morning. So you have already been through the process of being pre-approved. So the next step is finding your home with the right realtor. So I'm considered to be a realtor. Before I go into this, I just want to just give you a brief history of who I am. My name is LaShawn Deal with Exit Landmark Realty, and I have been licensed for 13 years. I was a full-time police officer. I see we have one of the corrections here. So I left that job to do real estate full-time, which is my passion. I also would like to let you know that I am a realtor. I have my GRI, which stands for Graduate Realtor Institute. And I also have my specialty in short sales, and also I'm certified to do probate. So I'm a certified probate real estate specialist. So I have all of that under my belt, but I just want you to know that real estate is my passion.
Somewhere over there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have to sit.
They get why she's fine.
Oh, here we go. I had the wrong one. Sorry.
Yeah, well,
Yes. Okay, yes. Okay, so we have,
Excuse me, y'all, I'm gonna get the wrong one out the way.
so we have a real estate agent and we have a realtor. So I go by realtor. And the reason why I go by realtor is because I am a member of the National Association of Realtors. All real estate agents are not realtors, so therefore they're not held to a high standard as a realtor is. A real estate agent, as myself, we help consumers to buy, sell, lease, or rent their properties, or find a property to rent or buy. When you start looking for a home, we have a home appraiser, we have property managers, we have real estate counselors, which are here, I call them home counselors, here at Home for USA, and we have real estate brokers. Real estate brokers and real estate agents are used interchangeably. However, real estate brokers, which I have a broker, Bernadette Cole is my broker, who has a brokerage, Exit Landmark Realty. So that's the difference in when we use real estate brokers or real estate agents interchangeably, it's on the document that you sign. So it's a real estate broker, so I falls under that category. Do you all understand that?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry. Real estate broker, I'm a real estate agent. Real estate brokers and real estate agents, we use that interchangeably, only because of the documents that you sign, the contract or the buyer agency agreement. So I have a contract here, and I have this is the contract when you are gonna use, that you're gonna use to write your offer on. That's what I'm gonna use for you all. The agency broker, the agency agreement has broker on it, and that talks about me as your agent and what I do for you, how I will work with you, and how you all work with me. It breaks down the responsibilities. So we use that interchangeably. But a real estate broker, every brokerage has a broker, a real estate broker. So every brokerage has a real estate broker who oversees their agents.
Okay, they're the boss, pretty much.
Yes,
And they own the,
they own the company, yes. Even though real estate agents, we are our own independent contractors. But we have to sit under a broker in order to practice real
They
estate.
wanna get that big money.
Some of them do and some of them don't. Property managers, they are the ones who come into play when you are leasing your property out and you don't want to handle the legal aspect of renting it out, dealing with tenants, screening the tenants who to come into your property. So we have property managers who will do that job for you. And of course, the home appraiser, I believe the lender, spoke on that. We would have to have a home appraiser to give us the value of the home before we go to settlement. I represent as a realtor or real estate agent, I represent buyers and sellers. In the state of Maryland, we no longer do presumed agency, which means no contract. So now it's illegal to represent a buyer without a buyer agency agreement.
Only in the state of Maryland?
In Maryland. We used to have presumed agency, which was, I can work with you without signing our agreement, and then it was presumed that I was representing you because I was talking to you on a daily basis, I was sending you homes, and it got confusing because when someone didn't wanna sign, when it was time to sign, you didn't have the representation. So to keep things clear, that both parties will understand, especially the buyer, that you are represented. If you do not have a an agency agreement, you are not represented.
The question, do you have to have a realtor or a real estate agent to buy a house?
You don't, you can represent yourself, but it's dangerous to do so.
I agree.
So, if we do not have a buyer's agency agreement, I will represent the seller. Therefore, the only thing I'm gonna do for you is just write that contract up according to the terms that you say. I'm not gonna offer no advice, I'm not gonna do I'm not gonna do anything in that nature that I would do for a client. How to choose the right realtor. Before we go there, I just want to say, the buyer agency agreement is a 4-page agreement that spells out everything. Anyway, with the agency agreement, I thought I had the time to go on my notes, sorry about that. You would have the date, the termination date. You will also talk about the commission in this buyer agency agreement. We will also talk about the type of homes you wanna find or buy, and also the area. That prevents me from going from county to county to county. So what you tell me, I wanna find homes in Prince George's County, we wanna stay in Prince George's County. If you say you want 3 to 4 bedroom homes, we wanna find that home, and whatever else. And according to your price range. We're not gonna look at a house, if you qualify for $350, we're not gonna look at $400, we're not gonna look at $390. Unless I feel that there is some type of negotiation strategy where I know that my offer will be accepted.
So if I live in Maryland, but I'm looking for a house in DC, then that paperwork doesn't occur?
Yes, not this one. I am licensed in Maryland and DC, so we have another, agency agreement for DC. How to choose the right realtor? Do anyone know? Yep,
About me.
recommendations, who would you get the recommendations from?
Tell the truth. The advisor?
Yep, your home counselor's here, your advisor,
You can let them.
Word of mouth.
word them out,
Do your lender?
through your lender,
Do home free.
home free. And also, sometimes people, everything is online now, like Google,
The review.
social media, everything. So, you interview your agent, do you know the questions you would ask your agent?
How long you been doing this?
Thank you, how long you been licensed? Yeah, that's the number one. You can also ask, are they licensed in the state that you're interested in buying? Are you licensed in DC? Are you licensed in Maryland?
Make sure, oh, I'm sorry. Make sure they don't have another, well, I'm not saying make sure they don't have another job, but if that's their only job, that's a good thing. You don't want them to have a relative and have another job, because,
I won't agree, I would not agree, and only
Okay.
because,
let me,
yes, I was a dual agent, I had a dual career. I was a full-time police officer and a full-time real estate agent. And what you do is you work around the schedule. I know my schedule, my days off, my clients, most of them had weekends off too. The ones that did not have weekends off, I'll work them in during the weekdays. I got off at 2:00. So they got off 3:30. We can meet at 4:30, we can meet at 5:30. So you have to just know how to work your schedule. Yes,
I'm in the process where I had to change agents,
yes,
okay, and, one of the reasons I changed it because of her availability. So I wanted somebody to have a partner, so that if she wasn't available, then, she'd have someone else that can show house.
Yes.
That was very helpful.
So if you have a team, you have other agents, that works with you within the office, I do it all the time. And that's great to have someone, a member on your team, not per se a team, but we can work together like a team for the betterment of our clients.
that's real
But
good.
once you
right there.
sign that contract, aren't you legally bound to that realtor?
Yes, you are, I exclusively represent you all, or you represent you, but she is not writing the contract, she just doing me a favor because we work hand in hand, and that's what we do for one another. She might have something, she might be down and sick, and I can go, yeah, I can go show that home, I can go with her on a home inspection, no problem. So that's how we do with each other in real estate to help one another out. Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
see, that has helped me already, because my realtor, she's like you, she's very sharp and all, and so she goes to conferences. And so she was at a conference when I need to see a house, so she just got her partner to show me the house, and so it really, really helps, if they have
Yes,
somebody, a place to be.
it does help. Any more questions? Also, what we did say, call your neighborhood real estate broker, but nowadays, everybody go online. We don't even look at that yellow page, I don't even think it exists anymore.
No, it's
But,
really good.
but yes, social media, friends, most of my business comes from, I do not do a lot of advertising. I'm not on social media a lot, I'm breaking forth in that. But what I love about my business is that my business come by referrals. My clients who I've worked with, clients who have not yet settled on a home, past clients who have, and it's because of my personality, my professionalism, and I make sure that you know that your interest is first. You are number one. I put your interest above mine, and that's what a realtor does. I cannot speak for every real estate agent, but I will speak for myself. We are held at a higher level of standard, and my profession, I love it, and my reputation means everything to me. Three questions. Well, we did that already. 3 questions you should ask a realtor when you are interviewing a real estate agent. Do you remember? How long?
What area?
What area?
Do they have a key?
Team?
Where you like?
Were you licensed? Availability?
Availability?
Where you licensed? Where you licensed?
Availability? Availability?
Where you licensed?
Availability? 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 Availability?
Availability? Yup. And you can know their personality by every time you call, how they answer that phone, how they respond to you.
What about, are you a Cowboys fan?
And that, if you're a Cowboy fan, would you allow that to deter you from working with a good real estate agent?
Maybe.
Really?
It's deep, but.
Now, I'm a Cowboy fan. Yes, ma'am.
I'm just gonna get my little spill on realtors. I own a home, but
Yeah.
I went through 3 separate realtors. One lady, she was really good, really accommodating, but she fell ill, so she couldn't help me. Then I had a realtor that was like a friend of the family, and then he just kind of fell off. So long story short, I ended up purchasing my own home without a realtor, and it worked out for my best interest in the end, because I got realtor fees.
Yes.
Not that that was something that I was looking to do, but I'm just saying, it is possible in the event that things like that happen.
It is possible. It's possible. So you bought your own home without a real estate agent.
Yes, but I had a very good consultant,
Wonderful.
extremely good consultant,
That's wonderful.
walking through the entire process.
That's good. And I'm happy for your success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't have
Yeah.
done it without it.
But that's good.
Yeah.
Yes. That's wonderful. A good realtor, honest. I have to deal with you and disclose everything that I know about a property. I have to make disclosure to you. That's one of my duties to you. My fiduciary duties: care, obedience, accounting, loyalty, confidentiality, which is the same, and disclosure. That is what I owe to you as my client.
So if somebody asks why they're selling the house, or like if something tragic happened in there, you are supposed to tell them,
Tragic like death?
like a murder or something.
No.
So you're not allowed to tell them?
No, not that, because that doesn't even have anything to do with the structure of the home. When it comes to AIDS, somebody living in with AIDS, murder, drug, what you call it, meth fiend house, whatever you call it, no, that does not have to do any, a ghost. That does not have nothing to do.
So it's just about the structure of the house.
It's about the structure of the house.
How good the house is.
Hmm?
I'm just saying how good the house is. All that stuff is
Right,
irrelevant.
irrelevant. That's right.
So how do you find out the information?
You probably would never find out.
No, what about a murder? I don't understand. You can't find that out.
You can always Google the address.
Yes, it is.
You can Google the address.
You can Google the address,
It's
you
not
can
like-
probably, so she mentioned, talk to neighbors. Every time I bought a house, every time I bought a house, I met the seller, I had a good relationship with the seller, still do. I meet the neighbors. It is just my personality. I love people. I talk, I love what I do. I love helping people. I give them information whenever I can. It doesn't matter if it's about real estate or not. If I had some information to give you, I'm going to give it to you because I want to see you thrive. I want to see you be successful. I want to see you accomplish whatever you need to accomplish. And if I'm the one to help you, then amen. Let me help.
So you're gonna tell us if there's a situation.
If it's a situation by law, if it's a situation that I know that somebody lived in it that had AIDS or died, murder, so I cannot tell you that.
Okay.
I can't, by law, I just can't tell you.
But you can direct me in the right direction to find that information out.
Look at that red spot over there, something.
I can, let me see what I can do that will be, that would not get me in trouble. I would say, never had this question, y'all. Yes, ma'am.
You can go online, actually, when you're looking to purchase your house, there's a way that you can check the crime in the area, whether it's high, whether it's moderate, whether it's low, and you can kind of base it off of that, based off each individual area, and also whether or not that home has gone into foreclosure. So you may not necessarily be able to research a death or something like that, but you
Right.
can definitely tell whether or not that house is on foreclosure or
Yes.
something like that.
You can do that, but
And
you,
also the neighborhood itself, is there a high, moderate, or low?
right, so even when it comes to crime or telling you a neighborhood is good or bad, I cannot do that. You must know, you must call the local police department yourself, because you know why? It is out of my scope. I am only a real estate agent, and my scope and expertise, yes, sir. My scope and expertise is to help you find a home that is suitable for you, that a willing, able, and ready buyer is able to purchase a home on the open market. I cannot tell you anything. I used to be a police officer, but even in that capacity as a police officer and working as a real estate agent, I couldn't do that. Because the law would not allow us to do that. I cannot tell you that this is a bad area. Because I can say, no, this is not a bad area, and when you move in, something happens, and guess who you gonna call and blame? See, she pointed right at me, yes, ma'am.
My personal experience, if I find anything, I take it upon myself just to try to drive around the neighborhood. In the daytime, midday, weekend, when you can, just to kind of see more stuff, like foot traffic, if it's a lot of children, if it's a lot of car traffic and things of that nature. I never really thought that was what realtors were supposed to do. That was just more so for myself. So it's like, if you go somewhere, you see a bunch of guys on the corner, every time you visit there, you can kind of grasp in your head, like, all right, this street may be a little bit too busy for my liking.
Good one, good one.
I would also think that because you're also dealing with the client, whoever the one is trying to sell the home, you don't wanna fall short of kind of moving them away from whatever it is that they're trying to like sell. So if you're trying to sell, if I'm the one selling the house, and then you go to her so she could be able to buy it, and you say something to her about, oh, this neighborhood is trash or something like that, you're now hindering me from getting the purchase in
Right,
that way, right?
exactly.
Okay.
And yes, and we cannot do that. As real estate agents, we cannot hinder a sale for anyone, whether it's the seller or the buyer. Okay, so I work in your best interest, give realistic advice, knowledgeable of my field, follow the non-codes of ethics. And so a real estate agent, as I was telling you, a realtor, we are bound by the code of ethics. A real estate agent who is not a realtor do not care about these things. One of the things I wanted, it's so small, but I'll do my best. Duties to clients. When representing a buyer, seller, landlord, tenant, or other client as an agent, realtors pledge themselves to protect and promote the interests of their clients. This obligation is to the client is primary, but it does not relieve realtors of their obligation to treat all parties honestly. When serving a buyer, seller, landlord, tenant, or other party in a non-agency capacity, realtors remain obligated to treat all parties honestly. So, if you are not my client, but are my customer, I still have to treat you honestly. But it's some things that I would do for my client that I'm not allowed to do for a customer. Another thing, realtors should cooperate with other brokers except when cooperation is not in the client's best interest. So I have to make sure that even the other party we have your best interest. Even though she represents the seller, I represent the buyer, you all, but if she's doing something that's not gonna be in the best interest of you, no. Okay, duties to the public. This is just some of this reading some. Realtors should not deny equal professional service to any person for reasons of race, color, religion, sex, handicap, familial status, national organ, sexual orientation, or gender identity. Realtors should not be parties to any plan or agreement to discriminate against a person or persons on the basis of race, color, religion, sex, handicap, familiar status, national organ, sexual orientation, or gender identity. So, I have to treat everyone fairly, and I have to provide the same service I do for one for all. And that's what I do. Okay, don't steer. We are not allowed to take our clients and just shop in one particular area. Like Upper Marlboro or Capitol Heights, if I feel like it's, you know, if you have some people don't qualify as high as 350. So they wanna put everybody in this same area over here, you know? But you have to give them, you have the choice, the opportunity to look wherever you want to in Prince George's County, or whatever county in Maryland. I don't have the right to say, no, you can only say here. Buying with a realtor, buying without. I understand the current market right now is a seller's market. I'm looking at more offers being presented on one property now. The houses, every time I take my client out, we find a house, and God knows, somebody beat us to the punch. So I know the market, lower your risk. I have the resources that you need. I understand the complexity of the transaction. I negotiate the terms on your behalf and in your best interest. I help save you money because I have people that I work with, different lenders, Home for USA, who have programs and no other programs that can help you get money to help, you know, buy the home so that you don't have to come out of your pocket. Buying without a realtor, you work directly with the seller. And one thing that the seller does not know is all of the laws that protect you. Another thing that the seller doesn't have is all the mandatory forms that are state approved for your contract. Handle all the elements of the home shopping process on their own. They think they're doing a good deal or doing the best, you know, because they feel like they're saving money. But if you're not protected and don't have everything, you'll be short. Like, she had a consultant that helped and guide her through the process, which was wonderful. But how many people get that? Not many. Matter of fact, you are the only one that I have ever known that have done this on their own. But she had guidance through the process. It's costly mistakes. One of the things I wanted to say is about this one. I think I did mention it. I think I mentioned it because we had the forms. They don't have the forms. And then what about a contract? A contract usually is like 30 pages or more, depending on if the property has an HOA fee, condo fee, some other things associated, some type of easements or something involved. You have to have all that stuff together. There are certain forms and documents that are approved by the state of Maryland or District of Columbia that will help you. So it's legal forms that, so if anything does happen, you are protected. But you're not protected if the seller don't know. Tips to a great realtor relationship. I always have a written brokerage agency agreement with my clients. We have to establish clear lines of communication. Do you like to email? Do you like text? I like to do both. I call, I want to hear the voice, I want to hear what's going on. That's how I can tell if something is, your excitement is still up or are you down? Then if you are down, then I have to pick you back up. I have to encourage you. Because during this process, you will get discouraged. I don't want you to get discouraged, but you will. Especially if we already seen 5 houses and you didn't get one yet. Some have seen 10, 20 houses and haven't gotten one yet. You can be very discouraged. But you should not be discouraged. This is the part of the home buying process that people don't talk about. They talk about, what's going on, we got the house, but they didn't tell you what they have gone through. And it was really, really bad. And then they talk about the agent so bad and bash the agent. They'll talk about that stuff, but they don't talk about how long they had to go, this and this, all of that. They don't talk about that stuff, but it happens. You have to know what you want now. You have to, in your book, you have a want and need section. You have to know what's important to you now. What is the need now? School system. Do you need 4 bedrooms? You might can just do 3. Do you have to have the 2-car garage? Can you just accept the 1? Is there a need for you to have 3 full baths? Can you just have 1.5, or is it truly a need for you to have the 3.5? You have to establish those things now, because it will save time when we go to search. You'll be all over the place, and I don't want you to. You have to know what you want: the neighborhood, the schools. If you want to be on the outskirts, but yet you can go right 5 or 10 minutes, and you right through all the shopping. So you have to understand. You have to know what you want. Make appointments and keep them. Work with one realtor at a time. And with the agency agreement, that's what that allows. With that agency agreement, it protects me. That you are protected. Another agent cannot come and just talk to you and show you no other home. They cannot negotiate on your behalf. They cannot do any of that for you. It's only my job, my responsibility, and I'm going to handle that. Another thing is that I make sure that I follow up. It's very important just to follow up. She said it is. It is, because when you don't follow up, people think you don't care. And I do care. I might not follow up on the day or time that you thought I should, but I'm gonna follow up. But I also encourage you to follow up too, because it's a what? Two-way. Two-way. Follow up with me. Because I can get really busy showing homes from the morning time to night. Then come home, take care of my family. I get tired too. But I don't want you to say, no, she's no good because she didn't follow up. Because I